Okay. Is it okay? It's live, right?
Mm.
Okay, right. Looks like we are live now. So, hello everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope all is well and stay safe during this festives or this holiday season. So, welcome to that edition of my live session. My name is Xing and I will be your host today. Before I begin, I would like to thank all of you for watching right now. For those who are watching for the first time, this live is actually for everyone. Everyone has a unique story to tell. Do you have one? What is your story? We would like to hear from you. So today I have a special guest with me all the way from Malaysia. She used to study in Australia and UK before settling down in Malaysia. She has been in the education line for the past 11 years as a piano and early child educator. So while she was still studying, she started her music and online fashion businesses. She's now in the process of building another new business on health and wellness. So while most only of us have only have one source of income, at most two, but she didn't just stop at two. She continued to build multiple sources of income. So actually, how she do it? How this does it? Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome Miss Qing Phen. Hi, Qing.
Hi, everyone. I think it's good evening. And I would like to thank Xing for inviting me here to share a little bit about my stories. And like what is said, I'm currently based in Malaysia. And I'm glad that Xing take this initiative to speak to everyone from Malaysia, no matter whether they are residing in Australia or anywhere of the world. So as he mentioned, my name is Iching. So I actually born in Penang, a small island in Malaysia. That's where I grew up. And after my secondary school year, I go to Melbourne for my foundation year. So I spent a year in Melbourne and basically follow my siblings' footsteps. And my parents initially wanted me to do account and finance because I'm quite good in maths actually. But that's not what I wanted to. So I took a gap year. I came back to Malaysia and did my degree in music. So that's what I always wanted to do. Then I also auditioned for my master's in UK because that's all the while my dream to study in UK and in music as well. And now I'm back here in KL and settle down here. Yeah, I choose
Okay.
KL after that. Yes.
Now that you're back in Malaysia, actually, describe what is your typical weekday and weekend like.
Now I'm back in Malaysia. Initially, when I just came back, I'm quite lucky that I got a job right after I came back. So my weekday is like my weekend, and my weekend is like the weekdays for normal working people. So because of teaching, most of my students are free during weekend. So my weekend normally are quite busy from morning until almost at night. Whereas my weekday, I will have a lot of free time in the morning because not many students they have time in the morning, and I'll be busy from like let's say around 4 or 5 onwards. And then during my free time, normally I will do something to improve myself. Like I'll learn some skills or I'll do some reading and watch some videos. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. That's interesting. So, actually, what are the things that you actually miss during your studies actually in Australia, UK? When did you return to Malaysia?
I finished my studies in 2015 in UK. That's where I came back. what did I miss the most? I would say definitely not food, because I still love Malaysia food. When I studied abroad, I cook every day because I really enjoy Malaysia food. So I cannot live without it. But I think the things I miss the most would be like the weather. I love cold weather, especially like autumn and winter. Although we have to wrap ourselves up, but I love it so much. It's not like Malaysia, it's so hot every day. And lots of freedom, I would say, because back then when I was still a student, um, all the things that we need to worry is just getting a good result, I think. But now there are so many commitments. So I think that's the things that I miss the most during my studies.
Yeah. So you have been in the education line for the last 11 years as a piano and early child educator, right? So while you were studying, you started a music and online fashion business. Now, of course, you are in the process of building another new business, which is on health and wellness. So as you were actually trained in the education line, why did you actually decided to actually go into online fashion businesses?
That's very good question, because there's so many people ask me about it, and I really enjoy teaching. So um, I started teaching when I was still studying, and it's not what my parents wanted to, but I just hope that I can earn some extra income. And how I got into this online fashion business is because my husband, boyfriend back then. So he was in an advertising company. Then he's quite lucky to met a person that suggests this idea actually to have own business. And after finalized, they decide to start an online fashion business. But quite unlucky was until he threw his letter, he resigned from the company. His partner decided to left him as well. So I think it's quite a sad thing for him. So as his girlfriend, I just suggest that why not we do it together, and we seek advices from our parents and siblings. And we're going to start it small, and we have some capital. It's not going to be expensive. So that's how we started. And we slowly built the business. It's quite challenging at the beginning because we don't have any business background, as education line and his engineering. So both of us are nothing. We don't know anything about business actually. So I actually initially I think that I don't have the confidence to maintain it. So we just know go step by step and see how it goes, whether we can maintain it. But I'm quite lucky that we managed the business until now, which is 8 years already.
Wow, not bad, not bad. 8 years already. Time flies,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Time flies.
Yeah. So you should be quite good by now. So actually, why did you want that? You already established now in the online fashion business, everything, and also the music. But now that you want to add a third business on health and wellness into your existing businesses. So why is it so?
Okay. If you can earn more money, I think everyone wants it lah. Okay, but why I decided to go into this one is partly because of pandemic this year as well. So as I mentioned, the online fashion business is not my business, but it's actually I do it with my husband. So I see him grow. I see how the business grow, and he managed to maintain it and handle most of the thing himself, and only need me in some small areas. So I don't think that I will have to spend that much of time looking after that business. So I'm thinking that initially I wanted to build my teaching career, to have my own studio and have my own shop as well. But this year, during pandemic, everything has to close down. So that's where I start to look for another opportunity. And that's why I came to my third business, because if something I cannot sustain and cannot earn a living, then we need to find alternative. So that's
Yeah.
where I moved to the third business, and I'm quite happy that the people in this business are very positive minded. So I learned a lot from them, not only in how to do business, how how to talk to people, how to make conversations, step out of my comfort zone to meet people, to meet new people. And they always motivate me as well. So I think it's a good environment that I would like to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. This year, 2020, will actually go down as one of the most extraordinary year. It has actually changed the way we do things, and now what we call the new normal. So can you share with us what did you do actually during the lockdown period for the last 6 to 8 months?
As far as we know, for Malaysia, in Malaysia, we're still under lockdown, and I have no idea when it's going to end, because the cases is still quite bad here. So I really, really hope that this will come to an end by next year. Okay. And then during this lockdown, I really didn't expect it. I have I slowly let go of my group classes, which is early childhood teaching, because I want to focus on more private, individual classes, and have more time to spend with my daughter, because she's just 1 year old. So I hope that I have time to see her grow up, to teach her, and so on. So in Malaysia, we started our lockdown on March, and it was quite strict back then. We cannot go out, we cannot have our classes. So that's where I lost half of my students. So they drop off. Some is because they don't want to continue with online lessons, and then some is because of the financial problem. So during this lockdown, I also learned that I can't just teach face to face. I need to learn how to use all the technology that we have. And after a few months, I feel a little bit lost, because I don't get new students, and my life was a little bit like going downwards. So, and I'm glad that on around July this year, where I met few of my friends and tell me about moving on, looking for another opportunity, or starting a new business. That's where I think it's very important that we don't just stick to our original plan. Sometimes we have to be more flexible to have alternative plan. And if we think that our original plan doesn't work, there's no harm for us actually to try something new, since that's the original plan doesn't bring us to anywhere. So I really enjoyed the environment, like I said before. So this lockdown actually really, really teach me it's we we have to be more flexible, and not always have a backup plan. Don't just stick to one plan. We must have different plans and decide which one will work for us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. How do you manage to find time actually running multiple businesses simultaneously? Sometimes,
Mm.
yeah,
I like I said, I have so many things going on, but I have never had a full-time job before, like those 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 type of job before. Since the day I start working, I I have very flexible time. I just work whenever I want. I can decide my own working time. So I'm quite happy with that. That's how I can manage so many things at once. Also, before I start the third business, as I mentioned before, the online fashion business, my husband can handle it and most of the things by himself. So I kind of like letting go that business and let him run it unless he really needs some help so that I can always help him. That's where I have my time. And then for teaching, I can decide when is the best time to have students. So I will not arrange any teaching time like weekdays. I'll put some on the weekend or in the late afternoon during the weekdays. Then the rest of the time, I will give some time for my family, and the rest I can just plan anything that I want. Like I can go out to meet clients, I can have um, online meeting, online Zoom session with anyone around the world. That's why I can do my business. And I'm very glad as well, like when I do my teaching, especially at home, my daughter actually learn as well. So she will just sit quietly and follow my instructions. And when I meet people through Zoom, things like that, either she will read book or she will just walk around, see what I'm doing. So I'm quite blessed to have a very good daughter to have more time. Yes.
Wow, amazing, amazing how you manage the time, right? Between all these. What is the one skill or lesson that you acquired or actually learned during the lockdown? I know that the lockdown is still there, but what are things that you learned?
Yeah, the lockdown is still here, but I think it's quite loose already. So we still can go out. But the things that I learned really, I was introvert. I'm very shy back then. I don't talk to people. I just stick to my comfort zone. Like if I have a job, I can teach, then that's it. But during this lockdown, I really find that this doesn't work. I really have to step out my comfort zone to meet people to do something. I can't just stay at my original spot. I just have to move. So the things that I really learned here is to step up, to be more confident in making conversation, in meeting new people, and then also have confidence in myself, in what I'm doing, rather than listen to what other people think. So believe in self, moving forward, step out comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good to hear. What is your plan now that, of course, the year 2020 is only like one day away
One day.
for the end? Yeah. So, what is your plan for the year 2021?
Actually, when we talk about this sharing thing, and I just had planning just 2 days back with few of my friends. So we plan what we're going to do in year 2021. So I find it, you have the same question. I think it's quite common that because this year is not something that we expected, and we definitely everyone hope that next year will be better. And the first thing that I hope it's this COVID case will definitely go down in Malaysia so that um, we can go back to our normal life. And what I think is um, my target in 2021 is to build my third business, because initially my teaching is considering my full-time job, but now after this pandemic, after what I've learned, it's not going to sustain, it's not going to earn me a much living. So even though I start to pick up now, there are more students inquiring, but it's not going to be a long-term thing. Student might drop. So I will really, really focus and strive for the best in my third business, work very hard. And then for teaching, maybe just part-time, because it's all the while my passion, and it's also part of my ambition since young to become a teacher. Also, at the same time, after this pandemic, I realized that our health, it's so important, and I hope that I can help more people around me no matter in their health, giving some advices or help them to stepping out of their comfort zone, like how I did it. And also, if they are looking for business opportunity, things I can give some advices since I have multiple business at once and some organization skills, like how I organize the time. Yeah. And of course, for next year, I must break through, I would say.
Yeah, it's always good to have a plan, right? A forward plan, something to a
Yes.
resolution. So, okay, yeah. So we are about when we are about to come to the end now. I mean, do you have any more things that you want to to add or say just before we end this live?
Yeah. And basically, the things I want to say is what I said before, but to sum up to people that watching, I think that it's very important that we always plan for our life, in short-term planning and long-term planning as well. So, like what I've learned, we know that plan B is very important because we don't know what's going to happen in our future, whether in a health or whether in your work as well, career. So whatever we do, we must know exactly what we're doing, and then we always plan ahead. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay, all right, everyone. This actually conclude my live today. Due to the time constraint, I do not have the time to ask Yiching any more additional question. However, if you would like to find out more about Yiching, what he's doing, please remember to actually follow her on her Facebook and Instagram. The address link is provided at the bottom of this screen. So once again, I think I'd like to, Yiching, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We actually appreciate your time. I know that you are quite busy, to actually take some time off to come and share your story with us today. And of course, to everyone, thank you for watching my live. And if you do like this live, please remember to share and let your friends know. Please follow me on my FB, Sheng Chu. Of course, the address link is also provided at the bottom of the screen so that you will know when I will go live next. I will see you all in the next edition. So until then, I would like to wish all of you a very happy New Year 2021 and have a great weekend ahead. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you. Yep. Okay, bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.